This is the Great Legend, and I'm coming at you live tonight, fans, with another episode of The Legend's Truth. Man, what a freaking week last week. What a great weekend. And now I can come at you today, Sunday night, and give you some Legend's Truth to always make things right. You're only going to get it here at youtube.com/r.95, your home for comics, cooking, gaming, and the truth. And man, the truth will set you free. That Legend's Truth. That is. Let's check the chat, because we know the chat is where it's at. Bam! right up in there, man. We got Perry Comics, one of the best. He always is lurking like the rest. But, man, he's got a great show, and he spotlights a lot of cool YouTube comic channels. And he's also a freaking gamer. I mean, so you get the best of both worlds. Am I right? CB, man, breaker 19, Chris Barrett. You are so fine. Thanks for stopping by tonight, brother. Great to see you. My main man, it's time to burn it down with one of the best mods around. And I'm talking Sam's Tangle Web. Giving me the green heart and the shades, brother. That's how we start. Man, none other than all the way from California, USA, the DBC, my main man, JB. Is this mic hot or is it not? Discovery Bay. How the hell are you today, man? What's happening today on Discovery Bay? Joe, bag of sevens, man. Late night lurking, man. Joe, it's great to have you late at night. Just don't stay up too late. You know, if people got to work tomorrow, you know what I mean? Oh, may not all be good there. Probably the hottest Star Wars YouTube channel around, or the only one I'm subscribed to, because I get all the latest news about Star Wars, everything that takes place in the Star Wars galaxy, and I'm talking beyond the blast doors. David, and James. I think the third stormtrooper is named James. Correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe I'll get it right before too long, man. So it's great to see Beyond the Blast Doors. Thanks so much for coming out tonight. And Chris Barrett says he's happy with his football teams this week. Karen Figures, host of Thursday Nights Outside the Issues, co-host of Comic Core Friday, representing the core. May I ask for any more? No, I ain't, because Comic Core is where it's at. She also runs 2 channels on the side, man. Well, of course, her home channel, Catrin Figures, action figures, comics, all the best in pop culture, and you're getting Cinema Figures, which is one of the hottest shows where she goes over head to toe what she knows about those awesome movies she loves to talk about. Man, what's up, the Mr. Pete channel? He needs 700 subs. He's just stopping by. You know, so check him out. Free shout out. I doubt the guy's even subbed to me, but hey, it is what it is. You know, he probably just come about for some free subs, but that's all right. Got to give some love to where love is due. And Mr. Pete, thanks for the view. Woo! Well, sometimes the rhymes are just all locked away until I got some stuff to say. But it's so great to see everyone here tonight. I hope I gave you all some great shout outs. What is up, J Salsa 23? Man, you need to check out Salsa del Fuego, one of the Great Chef Show episodes ever to be released on the Great Legend Show. Check that out on my channel, youtube.com/Daddy95. Scroll down below until you know to see the Great Chef Show. But, man, we have a great show tonight for you. You know, a lot of things have been happening. And, you know, I haven't done a lot of Legends Truths lately. You know, on Friday night, I'm going to say you know quite a bit because you got to know if you're watching the show. But all kind of stuff's been going on. And I don't push Legends Truth. You know, I don't force that to be a thing of habit or something I just do when I want to bring the truth to you. I've got to get the truth first. You know, some say, you know, God speaks to them in different ways. Well, God speaks to me, and this reality speaks to me. You know, for a man that can see reality change before his eyes, to slow down, to have that power to slow down time and look and read between the lines of reality. I mean, there's nothing else like it. I wouldn't change the power of this mind for $1 million anytime. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's all about. And that's why the truth I have to shout. And we'll be shouting out some truth tonight as we shout out more folks in the chat, like Comic Core is in the chat. Comic Core I'm representing. We got Comic Core Chad. We got the Uncanny Kyle Walker all the way down from the NZ scene. And that's New Zealand, if you know what I mean. One of the best. I remember when that continent was like, God, I don't even remember where it was, but man, I think it's in a different geographical location in this reality that we live in today, whereas back in the old days, maybe it was in a different place. Was it northeast of Australia, or was it southeast? I don't know. You have to ask CERN that question. But if you want to know more about that, check some of the previous Legends Truth videos. What is going down? We got Fish Tropic. That is Seawoodard 19's first subscriber. I think Fish Tropic, no doubt, is always going to be related to not only myself, but to the great Seawoodard 19, of course, the other co-host of Friday Night Off the Rails on the Comic Core. So what we're going to do, I'm so thankful everyone's here. We got double digits. We got 10 live viewers. And I've always told the fans and the up-and-coming YouTubers, dude, if you got double-digit live viewers, YouTubers, viewers, rhymes. I mean, how am I doing it? I don't know. Guess it's the Great Legend Show. You know the best, and I lay them all to rest. But, we're not talking about me with my jive and how I can rap from 9 to 5 or even 10:55 or 10:54 in some locales. But we got a great show tonight. Does this make you Metatron Legend if you're giving us the words of God? Well, you're getting the words. You might get some words of God. We're going to have some God in here, just a little bit. But what you're getting is the Legend's truth and what reality tells me to be. So I got to give you all the truth and preach it to you tonight. So, man, we got another one. One of the hottest live show acts around is the Comic Book G-Spot. Man, that show is so hot. Starring none other than Robert freaking Galvin. Live shows, some of the best. Man, look at that, laughing at the 420. What? Who said anything about 420? Do my eyes look red to you? Man, this is straight edge. This is coming straight edge, man. This is straight edge, man. I got some Sam's cola here, just in case Bake the Snake or the Mastodon come by tonight. I got my drink here so I can give that Vince McMahon intro like everyone loves and to listen to. A shout out to Seawood 19. Now we got 13 watching this time. Yeah, it's a viewer. And a stream started 12 minutes ago. That is 1 viewer per minute. Thank you so much. Thanks for those thumbs up. And we'll go ahead and get started. So what is this all about? What am I bringing to you tonight? Well, had a great chat with my main man, Splash Page Comics, on Friday night. One of my mentors in the comic book community, kind of like Howler Mouse or Captain Strangelaughs or Hippies Collectibles. My 3 Triple H's there, Hans, Hippie, Howler, as they gave me through the years the comic book knowledge that I need to succeed and show y'all what I know about comics. Man, look at Sam. He's a freaking trooper, baby. That's what it's all about. 1020, baby. Fish Tropic knows 1020. That's right. But I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the good stuff I've been going through. Just the outreach and the love and just stuff that happens all the time in the comic book community. So I was chatting with Splash. I got some good words of wisdom. Last night I was chatting with my buddy Chad, and we were talking about seeds and things of that nature. And I don't want to delve into too much of what we were talking about, but little things like that, like listening to 2 mentors that are close to me, one in Splash Page Comics, a.k.a. Mr. White Gloves, the other in the man that is the sole reason why I've got this shirt on, and Midwest Comic Man, gone too soon. And by the way, before I get on to my story, check in the video description below. We are still raising money for Midwest Comic Man's daughter, Moyra, who had open heart surgery about a week or 2 ago. And she's, getting back into the swing of things. And I'll be glad to let you know that GoFundMe has raised over $4,500. $4,500. Over $4,500. We're about $445 away, I believe, to hitting the goal of $5,000. Not to mention all the money that the comic book community helped raise. All of you helped raise the money on the Comic Core charity auction for Midwest Comic Man's daughter, Moyra. So God bless each and every one of you for coming together in the time of need and helping this young girl's life succeed. Because without you, there would be no money for Moyra. And we really do appreciate that. I know Paul appreciates it too, and he's hopefully getting some sleep right now because we don't want him to feel sad or blue. So the rhymes keep coming, and I'll keep drumming them as long as y'all keep listening. And that's what the Legends Truth's about. I knew this afternoon when I saw this picture. on my Apple CarPlay, Pandora, I knew that I had the last piece of the puzzle. And so, like I said, I talked to Splash Page Friday night. I talked to my buddy Chad yesterday. I did talk to him last night, but the thing we were doing last night, we were watching a boxing match. But yeah, that didn't have anything to do with anything. But it was cool. It was fun, but it wasn't, truth time or anything. But we talked earlier in the day about seeds and the seeds you sow and things of that nature. And then today, like I said, on my way to do a presentation about getting volunteers or getting people to do positive things, students, this song came on, man. No. Classic OBS. Classic OBS right there. But this song came on by The Police. And no, it's not Sting coming out of the rafters, but it's that, singer. And, the first thing I saw was the album name. That was the final piece I needed. Synchronicity. We've talked about synchronicity on the Legends show tons of time before. And you know where it's at because we got Who Dat in the chat, baby. I just had to lead in with a rhyme because my old school co-host of Legends Live Auction is here. Finally, he has his own auction show. So y'all stand clear because some good deals are coming y'all's way as long as you subscribe to Who Dat today. Or shall I say tonight. But, like I said, synchronicity. Back to synchronicity. I got to show love to Who Dat, though, because if there was no Who Dat, there would be no Legends Live Auction. Actually, there would be no auctions if it wasn't for that man, Who Dat, Comics and Movies, in the chat. So, and thank you, Who Dat, for having a name that rhymes with chat because it makes the rhymes a lot easier, even though sometimes they get a little bit cheesier. Man, the DVC, man, this guy's like even better than Jean-Claude Van Damme, the JCVD, but this is the DVC on the mat. Let me just say, hold on, I'm trying to think of that classic one he loves so much. Damn it, what was the name? Was it Gene Colan? No. It was a guy that he loves this particular artist. I know he loves Gene Colan. God, what is that guy's name? Anyways, DVC, you're always talking about this one artist. All right, let me get back. I got to show love to one of the best in the community. One of the guys that I always learn something from, Dr. Von Schiller. Although my memory gets a little jaded and faded when it comes to remembering some of the great artists. God, I wish I knew that artist's name. He's always talking about him. Anyway, love you, DVC. But synchronicity. Every breath you take. So that was the third piece of the puzzle, basically, for I knew exactly what this Legends Truth was going to be about. Because like I said before, this thing wasn't scheduled. I did not advertise this video. Oh, that's it. Gil Kane. Thank you so much, DVC. Dr. Von Schill loves him some of that Gil Kane. You got to love some of that Gil Kane Green Lantern stuff, too, man. I love that stuff. But the words to this song, and it just, filled in all the pieces of the puzzle. It kind of filled in the gap. But great song. And like I say, the Legends Truth videos, they're not scheduled. I don't let Discovery Bay Comics know when I'm doing them because the thing of it is, and I truly believe this, fate is what brings each and every one of you here. Maybe it's the bell icon, you know what I mean, but does the phone let you know when the legend is live on the show? That's the big question. Do you hit the bell icon or do you just lurk and browse? It's all up to you, but fate does lead you here. Fate will lead you in the right direction, or I hope it does. But this is a cool classic song. I was listening to Pandora. I had the Def Leppard radio going, and this was like the third or fourth song. And this is when I saw that word synchronicity, that's what hit me, because we talked about synchronicity before. The lyrics, of course, every breath you take, every move you make, every bond you break, every step you take, I'll be watching you. It goes on in that second verse, every single day, every word you say, every game you play, every night you stay, I'll be watching you. And then it says, oh, can't you see you belong to me? My poor heart aches with every step you take. But anyways, what I equated those first two verses to was seeds, and how in social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, pretty much everything you say could be interpreted as a seed that you plant. So every seed that you plant can grow up into a tree. Now, what kind of tree will that be? Will that be a freaking awesome tree? Will it be like a bitchin' tree? Will it be a positive tree? Will it be a salty tree, sour tree, bad tree, negative tree? What kind of seed will grow into that tree that will impact someone's life and change and have the ability to change that person's life? And will they take that seed of yours? Will their tree drop a new seed, and will it spread positivity or will it spread negativity? Now, for me, the legend goes all over the place. If you've listened to the Legend's Truths, you'll know some of the stuff is pretty freaking far out, and you're like, dude, that's freaking mind-blowing. But, if you kind of just listen to it, keyword is listen, you'll know what kind of seeds the great legend sows. Now, has the legend always sowed the good seed? Nah, man. I sow some shitty seeds sometime. I show some seeds that piss people the F off. You know what I mean? But I think the seeds that I have sowed in my years in life, in my years in social media, and especially on the Great Legend Show, the good seeds far pass the bad seeds. Now, because I ain't perfect. I ain't no saint. I be cussing like a damn sailor. But that's kind of where I was going with this, like the seeds in social media that you plant, or even just when you go out into the world and you greet people, you go buy something at Walmart or you go get some gas at 7-Eleven, how you interact with others in public could be a lot different. You could be dropping some good seeds of wisdom, some good happy seeds to make that person behind the counter smile, so they'll be happy for a little while, because you planted that seed in them to make them smile and make them a better person in that moment in their own life. And that's a very important thing to do, because if you didn't do that, will anyone else do that for that person during that day when they interact with people? Or will their day just be, a bad, shitty, negative day? But you have the power to plant the seeds, whether they be positive or negative. So one thing, it kind of got me thinking and about the social media, how in social media, basically, it's like a social media civil war. We've talked about that long time before on the Legend's Truth. And, so you can see things happen where, you see it every day on Twitter where people will plant seeds and they may not agree with the stuff they see, or the stuff, that you plant, or the stuff that they plant you may not agree with, because it could grow up into a shit tree, or it could grow up into a tree of positivity. But the cool thing is that every seed you plant, what kind of seeds will you sow? What kind of seeds will you show? What kind of seeds will impact that person's life that no one has ever done before? I tried to rhyme that with show, but had an RE in the end and not just a O or whatnot. But that's okay. You can't rhyme all the time, right? Right? Alex Comicore always used to say, we can't all be winners. But yeah, same thing applies to that. Every seed you sow is not always going to be a winning seed combination. I mean, I'm going to read to you something I found in the Bible. It's not going to be I'm not going to beat you with the Bible or anything like that, but I'm going to read from Mark chapter 4, and we are going to be reading that New International Version because it's a little bit easier to understand than the KJV, the King James Version. But this story is called the Parable of the Sower. I'm going to read it from my little Bible app here. This is Mark chapter 4, verse 1. Again, Jesus began to teach by the lake. The crowd that gathered around him was so large that he got into a boat and sat in it on the lake while all the people were along the shore at the water's edge. And he taught them many things by parables. And for you young folks, parables is like little stories that you can learn. Kind of like the great legends, like Legends Truth. You get these little things that will, hopefully make you a better person and help you get some of that info in the cabeza. Now, he taught them many things by parables, and in his teaching he said, "Listen, a farmer went out to sow his seed, and he was scattering, and as he was scattering the seeds, some fell along the path." So some of the seeds fell along the path. And the birds came and ate the seeds up. You just throw some shit seeds down, the birds are just going to come and peck them up. You may find people may try to gimmick you with top 10 comic book lists. So they're throwing out 10 seeds of comics that they think are going to be worth something. But then 6 months from that day, JP's budget and collecting, he may tell you that, nah, those seeds were planted on the path. All the birds, all the sheeple ate them up, but they ain't worth a damn thing. So shout out to JP's budget collecting there. Some fell on rocky places. If you know rocks, there ain't no soil on the rocks. But when the sun came up, those plants, it sprang up quickly on the rocks, like moss or whatnot. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched and they withered because they had no root. They had no root to go into that soil. Other seed fell among the thorns. We've all had some haters, haven't we? Raise your hand if you had some thumbs down, some haters. We always get some of that. There's always some thorns out there. Some seeds, they fell among the thorns, which grew up and choked the plants so that they did not bear grain. Still, hear me now. Other seed fell on good soil. They came up, they grew, and produced a crop. And that's what we want. We want a great crop. We want a good tree. We want some life, you know what I'm saying? And some multiplying 30, some 60, some 100 times over. And Jesus said in chapter 9, "Whoever has ears to hear, let them hear." Now, I'm not going to read the rest of it, but it goes on to say that the 12 disciples didn't really understand what Jesus was trying to tell the people and even his disciples. And Jesus laid it out to them. I mean, if you listen closely, like I always do, read in between the lines of reality. Slow down time, read between the lines of reality. Listen with your ears open so you don't miss a beat, because you're going to learn the seeds, and they're going to be down at your feet. I don't know why I threw that rhyme in there. It just sounded good and it sounded nice at this time. But so always kind of listen for that message. Now, he goes on to tell them and explain, the seeds that get thrown in the good soil, they'll grow. And what will happen is when that good tree grows, that good tree could produce seeds on its own. It'll sprinkle those seeds down in the fall. When those leaves come spinning down, they can create seeds to achieve new trees, new positive trees, new rays of light to shine upon the darkness night. You can see them, you can hear them, you can watch them, you can touch them, you can taste them. And whether they be positive or negative is up to you and how you can interpretate that message and how you can relate that message to others. So let's check the chat while y'all listen to that. We do got 10 watching right now. So great to see everybody tonight here live. So man, we got some new folks in the chat, like my good friend John's Comics with Kids. Man, it's great to see you tonight, John, in the freaking house. So glad to see you. Kat Ren's digging it. She's loving it. Hey, there you are, boy. Triple T to the C. Brian freaking B is here, man. Great to see you, Brian. I hope all is well down in Florida, brother. But so with the power of social media, what we have, we can do things, we can plant seeds, we can comment, we can subscribe, we can clap for others, or we can thumb others down, you know what I mean? But if you kind of just look at it and think about it, each time we post something, each time we chat, each time we throw something out there, we're pretty much planting some seeds to our YouTube community or Twitter or Instagram, social media, whatever your social media is, Facebook. You can plant these good seeds, and if the folks that follow you or the ones that are subscribed to you, if they take the time to listen to that message, then they will take those seeds themselves. They'll plant because they've got the seed is already a great tree, man. This is a great positive message. It's the Legends Truth, man. Legends Truth ain't gonna give you no negative BS, man. Only the positive stuff here. So with the truth, that truth, they can take that seed and then they can spread it to their friends, and they can get that seed out there. They can put a little bit of their flavoring on it. They can put some of that Italian seasoning on it, or they can put some salt and pepper on it. Not too much salt though. Don't want to get too salty, if you know what I mean, because that's how the phone game is, the classic phone game. But you want to keep it as the message was intended to be kept. So plant those seeds, and it's up to you to plant either the good seeds or the negative seeds. Now, what happens if, you're hanging out with your friends, say it's the Comic Core, and it's after hours, we're finishing up the show, and, we're talking about what can we do to make our comic book community better? What can we do to make people see the light and to entertain these folks to where they have smiling faces and they're singing the praises? Well, we do talk about that, so we'll start coming up with ideas. Two of the best idea men in the Comic Corps is Discovery Bay Comics and JD Comics. I mean, those two guys have some great freaking ideas. Tony Sanders, the Tone, the CBF, that's his baby, man, the Comic Book Federation. A great idea that spreads the seeds of positivity, because it gets everyone involved and everyone has fun and they all laugh. We all have a good time impersonating some of our favorite wrestlers and how they would cut promos on each other if they were nothing but a bunch of comic book collectors. So it kind of takes things, different perspective, but brings them into the comic book collecting reality. So that's freaking cool. Now, the same could be said about those negative seeds. What if you have people, or a person that spreads negative seeds to his friends? What if he says, I don't like that YouTube channel because their speculation is bullshit. That spec stuff that they're doing, they don't know what they're talking about. That dude's a douchebag. And then so that person will, that person won't go to that person, that one person that's spreading those negative seeds or dropping them bad seeds down. They ain't going to go tell that dude to that dude's face, But what they'll do is they'll plant the seeds. And if the folks that are hanging out with that person pick up those seeds of negativity, they may spread the same seeds of negativity out in the open, some of that open soil, because there's a lot of soil out there that hasn't been sowed. So that could be the first seeds of negativity to sprout into bad stuff, or it kind of like might encourage a person that subscribes to you, or a person that follows you. It may encourage others to also spread negativity throughout the community. So you really got to kind of slow down time and think to yourself, is this person I'm hanging out with, are they negative most of the time? Do they talk bad about people most of the time? So you can analyze the message, whether it be positive, or analyze the message, whether it be negative, and you can interpret it in different ways. Like, will you listen to the negative and then do the negative? Will you be one that gets manipulated by an evil tree that drops the evil seeds to the community? Or will you be one of those beacons of hope? Will you put on St. Walker's Blue Lantern ring? Will you have the S on your chest and give your very best positivity to the comic book community? I don't know. That's the question you have to answer yourself. Man, Jeff Comic 813, great to see you. Hate breeds hate. Good breeds good. I tell you what, man, that's very true. Hate breeds hate. Good breeds good. Kind of like Yoda used to say, right? Dark side and all that stuff. Force, Same thing in the Star Wars universe. I know David from Beyond the Blast Doors would give you a little bit more than that. But that is the main question, because I do believe that we can all succeed by the trees we grow and the seeds we sow. And I want everyone to kind of watch this video and rewatch it if you need to, because it's a great video. It's a great motivation, inspiration, collaboration. Thank you, The Police. Thank you, Sting. Every Breath You Take on the album Synchronicity. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Splash Page Comics, a.k.a. Mr. White Gloves. Thank you for putting those seeds in me so I can bring those seeds to each and every one of you. Fans, thank you so much for watching The Great Legend Show. Again, thank you so much to everyone in the chat. You people are where it's at, and I thank you so much for spending your Sunday night with The Legend's Truth. Fans, this is The Great Legend. And for The Great Legend Show and The Legend's Truth and everyone in the chat, this is The Great Legend saying peace out. God bless.
I think you know go back. I'm just afraid that I'll lose you, and I don't wanna hide or waste another life.